radio commander, and his kid, Brian Haig, was a year behind me at the academy. But Al was, he never got out of the drill sergeant mode, I thought.
He was in charge.
Yes, I know what he meant. They took it in. He meant to say, I'm the senior ranking guy at the White House right now, but of course the press ran with that and said, oh my God, Al Haig just committed a coup de man and has taken over the country. I go, oh God, you in journalism, if you can't make it in physical ed in college, the next step before you go out the door is journalism, I'm thinking.
Did you catch the news today where the Attorney General came out and basically said they were spying? Yes, this was spying on the. Basically he said that they were spying. And then did you hear the comment that the other one of the House members, I think it was a House member, made? Well, did you really intend? Do you really want to use that word? Do you think that's the right word to use? The TV news people are going to go crazy.
No, I didn't. What was going on?
Well, they questioned the Attorney General yesterday and today. Yesterday, all the questioning was over the 4-page report that he made, and we want to see the whole thing, and we want to see it unredacted, and we want this, and we want that. And he basically said, well, I'm sorry, but the law is the law, and you'll get it when you get it. Well, we want you to tell us what it said. And he said, I'm not going to say anything. This was yesterday. He goes, I'm not going to say anything until the report comes out. It'll be out in a week, and after the report comes out, then I will address it. But he said, I'm not going to say anything now. But today, and I didn't watch the whole thing today. I watched a lot of it yesterday. But today, they were questioning him, and he said, all the people in the Trump, administration before, while they were running for president, they were spied on by our own government. And he said, basically, this is very, very bad thing, and he said, I basically intend to investigate it.
Well, of course they were spied on. I mean, and the other thing, now I remember. I didn't see the but I because in a grand jury indictment or all over you. It's despicable.
Right, but he pretty much told them today he's going to investigate this, and I'm sure. Listen, here's my opinion. This is my opinion, but I said this from day one. They messed with the wrong president. This guy always gets even with people who do that kind of stuff, and he's going to get even with them. Whether he's going to tell you he's going to or not, that's where this whole thing's going to go. And it's going to go right up the other side, right up to the Obama, because Obama was up to his neck.
Yeah, Obama and Eric Holden. And you called this, by the way, and I think you're right. Listen, I got to step out for about 3 minutes. I'll be right back, Ray, KT Tootie.
The other net, N1DBL.
Yeah.
So who else is out here? N1DBL. Hello. 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 1, 2, 3, 4. Mary had a little lamb. Hello. Hello. 1, 2. Hello. 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 Hello, test. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sounds good on AM.
That was me, just doing a little testing. Who's this?
Yeah, this is Stan, N3VW. Yeah, I can't go AM with this rig. It's old ICOM 745 that I was just playing around with, but I did switch it up to AM. It sounds pretty darn good, and then you're getting some nice forward peaks out of it, too.
Oh, you never heard this? How wide a bandwidth were you running on when you were on AM? Were you running 10 kc?
No, I really don't even know how wide this thing will do on AM for receive, but it sounded good. It really did.
Well, this is an 890 Kenwood. I don't know if you knew that or not, but it's the only ham radio I've ever seen on AM. You have wicked good audio because the speech processor works on AM, and that makes all the difference in the world.
Well, I'll definitely say it sounded good. Really, really good.
Yeah, for a sideband ham rig, this is the best radio made. I'm convinced more and more and more every day that this is the radio that if you can afford it, this is the radio you want to buy. And you don't even want to think about buying anything else.
I guess the new ICOMs aren't cutting it too well, from what I understand, right?
Look, everybody has their opinion. I had 2 of them. I think they're the biggest pile of junk ever made. That's my opinion. And it's too bad. It's really, really, really too bad because that could have been one hell of a great radio. They just cut too many corners.
Yeah, well, that's their trademark.
Well, the thing is, I was an ICOM guy, so I came up 746, 756 Pro, 7600, and then the 7610. And there were big improvements in those radios at every step, except the 7610. That went way backwards.
Yeah, no, I'm an ICOM person myself. And like I said, this one that I resurrected, it's an ICOM 745, and I fire it up every now and then. I did some work on it and got it so it stays on frequency. I replaced all those plastic capacitors, tuning capacitors that they have in the PLL, and I put the ceramic ones in there, and it works good. I have to say, whatever the generation is of this here type of receiver, they're pretty darn good receivers. They're nice and quiet.
Well, if you're going to buy, if you're an ICOM guy and you're really stuck on ICOM, which I learned a long time ago, I'm not brand dependent, and I never was. I'll buy whatever the best radio is, and right now it's this Kenwood. But if you want a really good radio for a very fair price, you want to buy a 7600 ICOM. That is a great radio.
Yeah, no, I got enough stuff going on here. I really don't need another radio. But, I think I remember talking to you on 6 meters going back quite a few years ago.
I was on 6 and had a pretty good setup, so yeah, that was probably me running probably the Pro 3 back then. But I had stacked 5-element beams and the kilowatt amplifier.
Yeah, I'm over here in PA, right outside of Scranton. And I sit at 1,700 feet right at the driveway here. And for 6 meters, I run 5 elements on an 18-foot boom and
Yeah, good antenna. That's an excellent antenna. I had a pair of those stacked side by side.
Yep, and the radio I use is the older ICOM 746, not the Pro. And I still have that rig.
Yeah, well, like I said, that 746, that was a nice all-around radio back then, but then I bought the Pro 3, and that was quite a bit better. And then I bought the 7600, and I was amazed. The 7600 was the culmination of all of them. That was the best. Now, the 7610, I don't think the 7610 was certainly no better than the 7600 sound-wise. And matter of fact, the 7600 sounds better on transmit than the 7610 does. But the thing is, in this location, I have commercial broadcast towers in my backyard, and it didn't bother the 7600, but it sure killed the 7610.
Oh, that's surprising.
Hence the reason I basically call them a pile of junk. They built a radio that was probably at least 20 dB less dynamic range. Just a bad deal. Now this Kenwood here is just bulletproof, man. This thing is just bulletproof. You'd have to have a 50 kilowatt station back there to get this thing.
Yeah, what's the transmitter station back there? AM, FM?
No, it's all here's why I was so down on that 7610. That's all VHF stuff back there. So the VH stuff would come through on one end, and the AM broadcast would come through on the other. So essentially, if you didn't run the preamp, if you're running no preamp on the radio would live, and it would live here too. And then it had a pre-selector. But the trouble with the pre-selector is it only does its magic at about 100 kilohertz wide. So therefore, if you were on 160 and you put the pre-selector on, that'll protect you from the broadcast band. But the problem in this stupid thing, and this is stupid, I don't know why, I'll never understand why they don't call up people like me. The world famous Toad Harbor Net would be a good place for them to start and ask us questions, because where I think they made a huge mistake is they made it so that in order to put the pre-selector on, the preamp automatically turns off. So let's say you have preamp 1 on, and you're on, just say you're on 10 meters, and you're getting overloaded from the VHF out back here, 46100, they had some stuff in the 46 megahertz range, stuff in the 155. So they should have allowed you to leave the preamp on, put the pre-selector on. The pre-selector would have taken out the stuff way, way further than 100 kilohertz away, and you still could have run the preamp, because the pre-selector has 20 dB of attenuation outside the 100 kilohertz, and the preamp only has 10, which would be inside the 100 kilohertz, so the thing would still work. But, the problem was they had so many complaints on the 7300 with that overload light. Became a huge problem. They were paranoid, so they didn't ever want to see that red overload light on, and then they did stupid things.
W1US.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just to let the other guy know, I'm running a TS890, and it's an awesome radio.
Yeah, definitely. You don't have to convince me of that. Anyway, so what they really should do is they should allow you to turn the preamp on and the pre-selector at the same time. Now, maybe they can. I don't see why they can't do it, but they'll never do it. They're hard-headed. That company's filled with hardheads.
Well, when you first commented there, and we always said the same thing as guys in our group, and we always said, why don't they drop some of these here radios into, well-trusted hands, and field test the stuff. Testing in a laboratory environment doesn't cut it all the time.
I'm glad you said that, because there's very, very few people that really understand what you just said. And the perfect example of that is, have you ever looked at the Sherwood pages on his receiver performance tests?
Yeah, I checked it a few times. It's been a while since I've brought it up and looked at it.
But the point is, there's radios in there that the 100 kilohertz spacing, which personally I think is the really important parameter, it's not the 2 kilohertz, ability to hear somebody 2 kilohertz away. It's the 100 kilohertz that's really important. Well, anyway, I've had radios that test good at 100 kilohertz, but when you put them here, they don't work worth a crap. They're constantly overloaded by that stuff out back. So, it's an indication of what the radio can do, but it's not the last story what the radio can do. But if you look at the 100 kilohertz spacing on the 7610, it's 122 dB. Now the 7600, which didn't overload at all, even with the preamps on, is only 126 dB. So there's only 4 dB difference between the two radios, and yet one, the second you turn the preamp on, it's overloaded, and the other one you can turn the preamp on and it's not overloaded. So, like for instance, there, it appears that it's more like 15 dB, maybe even a little bit more. But like this Kenwood, which is the highest one ever tested, is 151 dB. So this thing, there's no way you're going to get through the front end of this thing. You'd have to have 10 or 20 watts on the antenna to get through the front end of this. That other station that came in, give me your call and your name, because you're not on my, I don't think you're on my official Toad Harbor list here.
Yeah, you got Mike here, W1US.
And where are you?
Over here in New Hampshire.
Oh, okay. Have you come in here before? I think you have, right?
Yeah, you've helped me out a little bit on the 890 here. We've talked a couple of times.
Yeah, I thought so. Well, it's sounding good. Which mic are you running?
The Kenwood mic. What the hell is it? The MC60.
Wow, I'm surprised. I've never heard an MC60 sound so good. It sounds good on that radio.
Yeah, very happy with this thing. I did have the 7610 and I got rid of it and got this one here, and then it's a well-built radio.
Well, unfortunately, very unfortunately for ICOM, they really screwed up that 7610, and Kenwood learned their lesson, I'm sure, direct from the 7610, and did not make the same mistake.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of them out there, and they're going to be around a long time, but I like the display of the 7610, but I think that this radio performs better receiver. It's the knobs on it are solid. You can't beat it.
I agree with you. The 7610 had a magnificent display, and it was very, very nice, but I did not like the touch-tone screen.
Well, it's one of those things. People buy them, and they're probably going to have problems with them and all that, but this one here is, 4 months old, and so far it's running great.
Yeah, mine's probably going on 4 months too, and same thing, no problem. I had two 7610s, which you probably already know, and they both failed within 30 days. They might as well just go out of business. They're just wasting their time with that radio. That has turned out to be a horrible mess for them.
Yeah, I think they're going to be around a long time because there's going to be a lot of radios probably sitting at the dealerships.
Not if they blow them out for $16.95. People will still buy them because hams are cheap, and they'll buy them even if they're going to have trouble with them. The only thing they can do to save their backside is to just say, serial number 3500 and down, because my last one was like 3300, 3500 down, 4000 and down, 4000 down. We'll put a display in it no matter how old the radio is. We'll fix it for free. That's the only thing that's going to save them. Because I'd hate to pay to put a display in that radio. I'll bet you that's expensive.
Oh, I bet it'd be quite a bit.
are going out of warranty right now. So that's going to make like I said, that's going to make a big mess. So good. Somebody else pick it up.
I got nothing to say, Ray. KT2DM back. Listening and learning.
Well, if you're going to buy an expensive radio, there's only two radios, and this is what I tell everybody now, and I'm very, very confident that I'm giving them good advice. You got $1,000, buy a 7300. You got the rest of it, buy the Kenwood. Without any doubt, buy the Kenwood, because it's just a incredibly, just a very, very, very nice radio.
Yep, those are the two I wrote down when you told me a couple of weeks ago we were discussing it. Yep, those are the ones I got written down right here.
It's the only two you want, because the truth of the matter is the 7300 and the 7610 are probably the exact same radio, just one's in the fancier case with a bigger display. I'll guarantee you they're the same exact radio.
Now your 890, that has that's got a screen, a display, so you can plug a large flat screen monitor and display on that, right?
Yes, that's correct, and that's what I'm doing. I have a monitor plugged right through. The whole secret is it plugs directly into the back of the radio, and the monitor works. Now you can't do that with a 7300. And of course you can do it with the 7610. So you can do it with the 10, and you can do it with the Kenwood, but you can't do it with the 7300.
So if you do it with the 7610, this is just hypothetical here, the screen on the radio is crap, but the monitor works okay. Is it just that display that they have on the radio? That's the first part of the question. And if it's the identical radio or near identical to 7300, I'm assuming the radio functions properly. But if that flat screen goes out or you have trouble with it, does it muck up everything else?
No, because if the screen on the radio gets all washed out, the external screen still works.
Yeah, okay. Well, if I had one and I didn't want to muck with turning it back, that's kind of a salvage, but you still don't want to pay that kind of money to have a screen go out on you.
Yeah, but unfortunately the problem is a lot deeper than that, because the first radio, the screen went bad. When I brought it back, they took it back and they gave me another one, and they tried to, con me into believing they were giving me another factory fresh radio, which they weren't, because the serial number was like 250 units earlier than the one I had the first time. So what they had done is they got one back with a bad screen, sent it in, had the screen changed, and I got that one. Now that didn't bother me, because the screen on the second radio was definitely better. You could just tell it was a different screen. I mean, it was the same physical screen, but it worked much better. The viewing angles were better on it. It had a much deeper color. You could tell it was a different screen. But then the other problems start showing up. The preamps quit. And that's the other problem they're having with the radio. And it's happened to everybody. It's not happening to just one person. It happens to everybody. Either the screen goes out or the preamps quit working. So, you can be guaranteed if the screen goes out, the preamps, and you send it back, then the preamps are going to go out next. So who the hell wants to spend over $3,000 for a radio that you have to keep on sending back to ICOM? That's crazy. Just buy the damn Kenwood. These Kenwoods, now, nobody has seen anybody with a Kenwood yet have a problem. So I'm saying you can't have a problem. I'm sure you can, but they're about, I'd say on a scale, they're probably 100 times more reliable than the 7610.
Yeah, boy, they really didn't do themselves any service with that, and the handling of it.
Well, of course, the handling of it, you have to be a guy like me to really appreciate it. They're lying so fast, they're tripping over their own lies.
Yeah, Yeah, that's when discerning buyers lose confidence in a company.
Right, like I said, well, this would be pretty. If they want to save it, all they have to do is say, look, you buy one of these radios, the screen goes bad, it's guaranteed for life, or it's guaranteed for 5 years. I don't think anybody would bitch about that. You got a 5-year warranty on the screen. Okay, now, we know we have a problem, so we'll just fix it with no sweat. You just send it in, we'll fix it for you, and then people would be okay. But like I said, I would love to know. I really, really want to know if you had a radio and you send it in and you have to pay for it. I want to know what that screen change is going to cost. I'm guessing that's got to be $300-400.
Yeah, I bet. If you had to pay for it yourself, yeah. So, Ray, I'm going to grab a glass of something, water probably. I'll be back in a few minutes. KT Tootie.
N1 DVL. Mike, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. When you transmit, look at that upper right-hand display, and what's the bandwidth when you're transmitting?
LC 200 and HC 350.
Yeah, but what's the middle one? The middle one's the important one. Bandwidth while transmitting. What's it say?
30. When I transmit, 33.
Yeah, I'm at 34. I'm 100 to 3500. That's what I'm set at. 100 and on the low end, 35 on the high, and that's where I run it. And it sounds good, but you sound good too. That little bit of extra bandwidth makes a big difference.
All right, so I should change it up to the bandwidth up to 34 then.
Well, what's your low cut set on?
The low cut is transmit is 200.
Yeah, that's the difference between us. You can leave it there because Randy likes it at 200. I have mine at 100, but it doesn't make much difference. I wish that it's too bad you can't go up in hundreds, like at 34. You could go, like, say, it says HC 35, you should be able to go to 36, but you can't. The next step up is 4.
Right, okay, so everything's just fine here.
Yeah, you sound good. That extra bit of bandwidth makes a big difference on the how nice the receiver. I mean, how nice the transmitter sounds.
Yeah, it does.
So the next thing you have to do when you want to move up a grade is get an MCL, the MCX. What's that microphone? Let's see, Amazon MXL. Yeah, MXL BCD-1 microphone. Go buy one of those.
That's a lot better than what I got here.
I would think so. The ham. I haven't seen a ham microphone yet that has a nice smooth range like one of the professional mics.
Yeah, HRO sell them.
The MXL mic you're going to have to get from Amazon. The mic I'm running is the Electro Voice RE320. You can get those at the Guitar Shack, or you can get them anywhere.
Okay. Yep.
But I think I'd buy the MXL because the mic's cheaper, and I think they're probably slightly better.
Now, what do they run?
I think they're 159, and this mic here is probably 275.
Okay.
Do you know how to get your bandwidth on transmit up to 4?
That's what I've been playing with. I'm not sure.
Okay, let's see. You press the menu button. Okay, press the menu button.
Okay, I've got the menu button up.
Okay, so you're looking at the menu. Where's the white line? Is it across 6?
Nope, it's on 0.
Okay, scroll. You see the F2, F3. Scroll down to 6. Then hit select.
Okay. Wait a minute. What did I do here?
Well, tell me what you see on the screen.
Okay, it changed it, and it's back up on 00. It's a full-time recording system.
Okay, hit the F3 button and go down to 6, 06.
Okay, 06, I'm there.
Now hit select.
Yep, I'm there.
What does it say? 100 hertz? It says 200?
Yeah, it's 200 right now.
Okay, now you see the F3 button, tap it once and bring it down to the 3500. Did you do it? F3, click it down one.
Okay, yep. Now it's at 100.
No. You should be on 07 right now. You didn't listen. You didn't do the right thing. You didn't do. What number are you on? Where's the white line across?
I'm on number 6.
Okay, so turn it back to 100 hertz. So you have to turn your multi-channel knob, right? Turn it back to 100 hertz.
Yeah, it's on 100 now.
Okay, now hit let me think. Okay, hit the F3 button, and it should go down to 07.
F3 doesn't do nothing.
Okay, then hit escape, the ESC button. Hit escape. Did you do that?
Yep, I did.
Okay, now hit menu. Now, where's the white line across?
On number 6.
Okay, now hit select.
Okay, I'm there.
Now you're on 06 or 07?
I'm on 06.
Now hit the F3 button one time and it should go down to 07.
Okay, there's 07.
Now hit select.
Yeah, all right, there.
Now turn your multi-channel knob way past on the right of the VFO and bring it up to 4,000. It'll just go. It's on yellow, right? Then it goes right up to 4,000.
Right now it's on 35. All right. So what do I hit now?
Okay. Don't do anything. You're on 07? Is the yellow line on?
The number 7, the yellow line is 35.
But it's from the middle of the screen to the right. It's yellow, correct?
That's correct.
Now go to the multi-channel knob. That's to the right of the VFO. Multi-channel, where that light, that LED light is.
Okay, now I turned it to 4.
Okay, good. Now hit escape, and you should be back on your display.
Yeah, I got it now. Perfect.
Okay, now talk right up close to the mic.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it doesn't make a big difference because you know why? Because you see your transmit EQ right in the middle of the screen, right-hand side of the screen. It says TXEQ. You see that?
All right, let me back up here. Say that again now.
Right-hand side of the screen. It says TXEQ U1. Do you see that? The big screen on the front of the radio, right-hand side, right in the center. It says TXEQ.
Oh, gotcha. Yep. TXEQ, yes. Turn that on.
Press and hold the button. Don't tap it. Press it and hold it until the TX equalizer comes up.
Okay, yeah, it's on high boost 1.
Push it, go down. Hit your F3 button. Let me hear it on 1 and then go to 2.
Okay, there's number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll go down to 2. All right, there's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, trying to think what else you could put that on now. You're right. I don't think you can put it on anything. Usually 1 or 2 sounds the best. So let me hear it again on 1 and 2.
Okay, here's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm going to go to boost 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boost high 1.
Yeah, very, very, very little difference. I'll leave it on 2. Put it back on 2.
Yep, all right, there's 2.
Okay, now is your processor on? It says you see lower right. Well, hang on. Hit escape again. Hit the ESC.
Yeah, the processor is on.
Okay. Let me see. Press and hold the processor button.
Okay, head in.
Okay, now you got your processor level screen up. What's the input set at?
What I could see, it says where it says level, right there by the L.
What does it say to all the way to the right? There's a number.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, 50. Both of them, the top and the bottom say 50.
Okay. Turn is the white line across the input?
That's correct.
Okay, turn your multi-channel knob. Turn it up to 60.
Okay, yeah, there's 60.
Now, above that line, it says effect. Does it say soft or hard?
This one here says soft.
Okay, good. Leave it there. That's good. Leave it on soft. Just for the hell, let me hear what it says. You see where the F6 button says effect? Talk some more on soft and then hit the F6 button. I want to see what it sounds like on hard.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm going to switch it. All right, this is hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, it still sounds nice and clean. Are you in a real big empty room? That room sounds very echoey.
No, the room, it's full of stuff, though. It's totally full of, radios, TVs, chairs, you name it. But there is an echo.
Yeah, there's a lot of echo, too much. Okay, hit the effect button again. Go back to soft.
Yeah, okay, there's soft here now.
Okay, now hit your F3 button and go down to output.
Okay, there.
And that's the mic gain control, I believe. Hang on, let me check this. No, it isn't. You can do it with the multi-channel. You're at 50 now, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, go down to 40.
Okay, there's 40.
Now talk 1 inch from the microphone.
1 inch, okay. That's about 1 inch right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, there's the problem right there. Okay, leave it there. Hit escape, and you're all set. You got to talk close to the microphone, because watch what happens now. Watch. This is me talking up close to the mic like you are. Mary had a little lamb. And then you get back here. Mary had a little lamb. See the difference it makes?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there is a difference, yep.
Yeah, when you get off the microphone like this and you just lay back and you talk, I don't know if this room's echoey, but in your room you get a lot of echoing, and then I'm going to move right up, and then I'm talking right into it again, nice and soft.
Yeah, okay. My VW is 39. Oh, hang on. Yeah, when I transmit, she's not moving.
Don't understand what you're saying. What's not moving?
Well, you got your LC 100, and the bandwidth is what it is, and I've got it on 39, but it's not. Isn't it supposed to change?
You're talking about that upper right-hand meter?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's supposed to move when you're talking, even when you're receiving. It's not moving now?
No, it's not.
Huh, well, I have no idea why. Let me think. I don't know. I've never seen mine stop. What does it say across the top? Does it say LC 100 bandwidth 4000 or something like that?
Yeah, it says LC 100 bandwidth 39 and HC 4000.
Right. Mine's doing exactly the same thing, but mine's moving. So I can't imagine why. Unless you hit the F7. Maybe hang on 1 second.
Yeah, it was working earlier, but now the bandwidth's not moving at all.
You're talking about the upper display's not moving.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
But the bottom one's moving.
The bottom one. Nope, none of them are moving across. The 100, yeah, the 100's not. The bandwidth's not. That stays 39. It was, when I came on, it was, I think, 33 when I was transmitting. Yours was 34.
No, forget that. I'm talking about the big display at the bottom of the display, the big giant display that's 6 inches wide. Is that moving?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Okay. So that's moving. So, and which display do you have up? Here, hit it. 1 second. Hit escape again. Hit escape.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, now you see nothing, right?
That's correct.
Now the SCP, you see there next to the F7 button, you have SCP. Across the bottom, F1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right next to the F7, there's a button that says SCP.
Mine says menu list. That's what mine is.
No. You listen careful. Forget I said next to the F7 button. To the right of the F7 button, there's the SCP.
Okay, I get you.
Press it once.
Okay, did.
Is that upper scope moving?
Yeah, the upper scope is moving, but the numbers up top are not moving.
Well, okay, I see what you mean. So the scope's moving. The blue's going up and down.
Yeah, the blue's going up and down, but the numbers above it, the bandwidth numbers are not moving.
Yeah, they're not moving because they're set the same as the receiver.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So take your right-hand knob, your upper right-hand knob, right where it says under the TS890. You see where it says TS890? Take the little knob and turn it all the way to 5. So you have 5 kCY on receive.
Okay, you want me to move where it says high shift, low, wide, is that right?
Yes, you want the little knob, the outside knob, the small one. Turn that all the way to the right.
Okay, all right, now it's moving. It says transmit 4, receive 5,000.
Right, okay, so okay. So here, if you want to put it back the way you had it, ready? Here we go. Take that knob you just turned and put it back 1 notch to 4.
I did, yeah.
Okay, now hit the menu.
Gotcha.
Okay, is it across number 6 now?
It is, yes.
Okay, hit select.
Okay.
Hit is it on 07?
It is, yes, it is, and it's marked 4,000 on it.
Right, so hit select again, turn the screen yellow, then go over to the multi-channel knob, turn it down to 3,500.
Okay, yeah, there it is.
Now hit escape, and you're back to normal.
Perfect. Yeah. Now she's working now. The bandwidth now when I transmit is at 34.
Right. Well, it was working before. It's just that the receiver and the transmitter were on the same bandwidth.
Gotcha. Now, how do you run yours the way I've got mine, right?
Yeah, they're identical right now. Yeah.
Incredible radio.
Yeah, it is. No, it's an amazing radio. Truly amazing. It's a real shame that listen, when we elect Bernie president, every ham's going to get a new 890.
I know this radio it's a lot bigger than the 7610. Then they had a radio next to it as the 990, and boy, that was a lot bigger than this one.
Yeah, I know, but unfortunately the 990 was a Toad. That radio does not work anywhere near as good as this one. This is the king of the radios right now.
Cool. That's nice.
Well, I'm going to take a break and go get some water, and I'll be back in 10 minutes or so on one DVL.
Yeah, thank you for the help, W1US.
Right now we're on the 870.
Okay. KB2ZVP. Hello, radio. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that sounds terrific. Where's everybody?
Hello, Randy. It's Bob, KT2D. Ray went to get a glass of water, and don't know if anybody else was in here. I've been popping in and out here. Good evening. Hope you're doing good.
Yeah, I am. Doing real good. Just getting here and warming up things, getting things tuned up and tuned in and all that jazz. And when you come in, you're going to have to, you seldom have to give who you are, because I've got you in the old gray matter now. So once I got your voice, I got your voice. You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah, okay. And, yeah, you're sounding good. You're booming, as always, and very good audio. You could probably get a more detailed report when Ray gets back, of course.
Yeah, but I don't listen to him anyway. How's it sound, this microphone? How do you think it sounds?
I think it sounds great. And I know when you guys say stuff sounds too bassy, but that doesn't bother me. It sounds pretty good. And for my ear, I guess I prefer a little more bass. Otherwise, it sounds a little bit tinny if it doesn't have enough. You know what I mean? But now you sound real good.
Okay, very good. Is it approaching too bassy? I don't want that.
Not to me, but you're going to have to, it sounds great to me. If mine sounded that good, I'd be very happy.
Okay, Roger. Okay, anyway. So Ray was in here earlier, you're saying?
Yeah, very earlier. Let's see, Devin and Mike, is that right? Was Mike the W2MUL, the fellow went to Israel?
Yeah, that's Mike. And probably Mark. Mark gets in pretty early, too, I think, generally.
He wasn't, I didn't hear him. And then Ray and Russ were talking a little bit, and then I had to step out. Ray was talking to another fellow about his display or a scope or something. Then Ray had to go and get a beverage, and this is where we are.
Okay, very good. Well, that's a pretty good rundown, I'd say.
Well, it's the best of my recollection for the time I was here. I've been up and down, letting the dog out. I had a CW net at 7, so I was out for, probably 8 minutes on that. And, let's see, change over laundry, and that was about it.
Okay, real good. Sounds like you've been running around there a little bit. I got home a little while ago, and just had dinner. We watched an episode of Tin Badge or Tin Star, which is one of these series things. I like to watch. I don't really watch TV off the air TV. I watch like a series or something. I'll try to find a series that interests me, and we're just about done with this series. It doesn't really interest me that much anymore. It got to be, as these series go, they start out pretty good and they're real interesting, and then they become more and more far-fetched. Things they kind of get a little bit beyond realistic, I guess, and then I'm hoping for the end of the series. But so we've got three more episodes to go now. We had 4 tonight, but 3 more to go, and then we'll be done with that.
Yeah, I'm wondering, I know what you mean. I'm wondering if what happens is the writers they run out of material and then they just start reaching really deep. And I'm with you. I won't watch TV except maybe the Science Channel, the History Channel, and if there's a sporting event that I'm interested in, I'll watch that. But I'll mostly use, Netflix or Prime Video if there's a movie on there. But a lot of the series, I like some of these British crime dramas or crime comedies or series like that. They're pretty well done. I enjoy those. And that's about it. I don't... I'm a movie buff, but network television now just... it just, the laugh tracks I can't stand, and I just don't like a lot of the material. It's really I don't know, getting cranky, I guess. It just seems it's too blatantly biased and almost propagandist, and just not very well written. Anyway, yeah, that's my story.
Well, I agree wholeheartedly. It's just like they're trying to brainwash a society, and I'm not for that. But yeah, I understand. I like the Science Channel. My thing is I don't get much time to do it, and we're going to be running out of TV time anyway coming up. As it gets a bit more warmer and it stays out a little bit later out, I'll be outside after work. I'll be at work a lot longer, and then I'll be outside after work doing what we do around here. We've got gardens and mowing to do, and I got a little shop out there where I do welding and fabricating for people, and that's going to be kicking off, and so I'll have less time to be in here, and then I've got to find some time to erect a big tower with some kind of a super antenna on top of it, or I guess attached to it.
Yeah, you must put in some pretty grueling hours, I would guess, huh, Randy? I mean, because you're the owner of the company, right?
Well, I'm not the owner, no, I'm not the owner. I'm the owner of my company, but this block company, he's a great guy, and I went there and to do some work for him. See, I've gone from plant to plant doing repairs and building things, and then this owner... he asked me to stay at his place for a while, and it was he was thinking of having me. Well, he was hoping that I would buy it because I owned that plant in Kingston, and he wants to retire one day, and that day is coming up, shortly, and. So I said, no, I'm not interested in buying it outright. I don't want to. I just don't want to have that responsibility anymore, and I don't need it, So I actually went to him one Saturday. And it was a very difficult decision to make, and I told him that I was going to be giving him a notice, and I'm going to be moving on and go back to my own company. I had a really successful company working at concrete block plants and doing maintenance and repairing things for people, and doing a lot of consulting. And fabricating and taking plants out and putting plants in and all that. And I was always really busy doing that. And my son started getting into it, and I thought I would go back with him. My thing is, I went through a wicked divorce, and I had a lot of money, under the bed. I mean, literally, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I sold my portion to Kingston. It was a lot of money, on and on. Well, when you get through the divorce and you get done paying the lawyers and all that, your nest egg is now gone. It's been depleted, and the house went away, and so on and so forth. So I said to Rick, I said, look, I've got to get back on my own. I said, I've got to, I'm getting old. I looked in the mirror this morning, and holy Christ, I was looking at some old guy, and I realized that I got to start making some loot, I don't want to work until I'm 65. I want to, well, I don't mind working, but I want to do exactly what I want to do at that time. So I said, I got to start putting some cash away. And then he made me an offer to a portion of the company, and when he sells it, I get the portion. And I won't get into all those details, but so then I decided to stay, and that's where I'm at. I'm not the owner, but I'm actually in better shape because I get what I get and I don't have all the responsibility. But if we don't sell it in 2 years, then in the third year I become part of the ownership, and then I get a signing personal and all that. So we've got an arrangement made. So it's not the exact same headaches, but plenty of headaches. And I go in at 5:30 or so in the morning, and I get out whenever I get out. And I love what I do. I mean, that's the thing I really enjoy. I enjoy greatly what I do and the people that I work with.
Well, that's the brass ring right there. The fact that you enjoy what you're doing. That is, and it. When I talk to a lot of people, that can be a very elusive thing. And I went through a divorce myself in 2000, and had a nice nest egg, had a house, had all that, and that just got savaged. So that's when I said at 2000 my plan to retire in a few years went away, and I said, well, I just resigned myself that, well, I'm going to work till I die. That's what it is, I had parent loans for kids in college. I had a wife with a unquenchable thirst for vengeance and money, and an ex-wife, and so, but it turned around, and I'm going to pull the plug here in another couple of months, because it's gotten to the point where I enjoy what I'm doing if I'm allowed to do it, but it's just getting harder and harder, and it's starting to not be fun anymore. Just putting up with, the just working for the federal government. It gets tougher each year. So anyway, but now it's good. Yeah, it sounds like you get a pretty grueling schedule there, and a lot of folks depend on you. So. Yeah, but Ray's not going to cut you any slack. He'll ask you, do you have your tower up yet? Anyway, good to hear you in here, Randy. KT2D.
He's 2 years behind schedule.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are you talking about? He hasn't stopped. Yes, I want to cancel that. Okay, so just shutting something down. So Ray's been on me about putting up this tower for a while now. So and I committed to do it. And the thing is, I've got a lot of good friends, and one of them I was talking about. I need a tower, Roan 25 tower, 125, 130 foot long, something like that, or tall, And the next thing you know, a friend pulls into the driveway and, well, where do you want the tower? Let's put it in the barn. You want to? So I said, sure. Let's put it in the barn. So, when you get a gift of a tower, you have no choice but to erect the tower. Over.
Oh, absolutely. I think you can injure a major organ if you refuse that. And Ray's on me. He comes up with an antenna design for me, and then 2 days later he says, well, do you have it up yet? I can't even climb up my backyard. I'm slipping on ice and snow, and KT2D.
Randy, you got all the sections? I still got those too. I got a tip section and a regular section, N1SAG.
Yeah, that's right. You had the fat mouth ad on the radio. Then now Ray can figure he can add. He knew I had 130, and he's thinking, okay, Dave's got 20 more. Now we're going from 130 foot tower to 150 foot tower.
Well, I don't know. Whatever you want. Don't make me cart them up there, and if you don't want them.
Oh, I'll take them. I'll put them up. I was thinking about scrapping the whole vertical idea and put up two 70-footers or something, and that'd be a corner of my loop.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I just figured it's something you got to have. So I got them, and I'm tired of tripping over them. Down here in the cellar, they're just like they've been here since day one. I got them from a guy. He had them outside. I bought them. I brought them down here and stuck them in the side. I haven't touched them since.
Just put up the 150 and do the N1 DVL special. Believe me, it'll work.
I don't know. I was thinking, 150 divided by 4, 30. I could do that. I could do 30. I could do 40 footers. I could do that. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do 4 40 footers.
That's what I would do.
Just need another section of tower, and I'll be good.
Well, you got them coming. You got them coming. They won't be next day mail, but they'll be there.
See, I do that to Ray on purpose because now he's all mad. I want that tower up. I dangle the carrot. KB2ZVP.
Hey, one of you guys with a computer, look up the movie Passengers, and tell me who the girl was in the movie.
Hey, so, do you hear how great I sound right now, Ray?
It sounds okay. You sound a little kind of on the, full side.
Well, it's clear that I've made a big improvement in the shack.
Got that ICOM audio.
No, I got my new rubber bands for my mount for my microphone. I just installed those, and man, do they sound great.
Yeah, my mic's on a rubber band.
I've been waiting to do that all night.
What?
Aurora Lane was played by Jennifer Lawrence, if that's the one you're looking for.
Well, there's only two people in the movie. Three. A guy, and two guys and a girl. So her name is Jennifer Lawrence.
Wait a minute. Is this? Tell me what the movie's about. I may have the wrong Passengers. 2016.
They're on a space flight that goes for 88 years, and everybody's in stasis, and one guy gets woken up by accident, and then he wakes her up.
Wow, they're listing a lot of people here. There's about 15 people in there, but Jennifer Lawrence, Chris Pratt, Michael Sheen, Lawrence Fishburne, Andy Garcia, Vince Foster, and Kara Flowers is the communications officer. But Jennifer Lawrence plays Aurora Lane. That must be the one you're talking about.
Doesn't sound like the right movie because there's only three people. There's only four people in the entire movie. One's a bartender. What does it say the movie's about?
A spaceship traveling to a distant colony planet and transporting thousands of people has a malfunction in its sleep chambers. As a result, two passengers are awakened 90 years earlier.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, and her name is Jennifer Lawrence?
Yes.
She's a cutie pie. She's my new favorite girl.
She's been in a ton of stuff.
Yeah, she's adorable. She's plain Jane, very plain Jane. But, my other girlfriend's going to jail, so I got to look for a new one.
Man, those women they're in that one, the one that you like is nuts. I mean, she just will not. She just thinks that she hasn't got to go to jail no matter what, and she won't plea, and they're gonna take her to jail for 10 years.
That's right. What a fool. All she had to do was say, hey, I screwed up. I'm really sorry. I don't know what I was thinking, and she probably wouldn't have got jail time. But you know what's happening? I can tell you exactly what's happening there. Those Hollywood people are not very smart. They think they're smarter. The problem is they think they're smarter than the rest of the world, but in reality, they're not smart at all. So her lawyers conned her into saying, because they know she's probably worth, 20, 30, 40 million, 50 million. So they want a piece of all that money. So they're going to say, we can beat this. We can beat this. And she's going to have a legal bill of $10 million and still go to jail.
And still go to jail, that's right. Couldn't happen to nicer people. I'm happy it's happening.
Now, the other one, Felicity, just pled guilty. And I think she's probably, I'll be surprised if she gets any jail time.
They're saying maybe 4 or 5 months of, like a country club type place. But she only paid, what was it, $15,000 or something?
Quite honestly, in all honesty, I can't even see why they would ever put those people in jail. But even the other one, I mean, really, what did she do? I mean, the guy that took the money is the one who should go to jail.
Well, she paid it. she colluded, she embezzled. There was embezzlements there and stuff. So I don't know. I'm happy that they're going to jail. Maybe it would take a little bit of a notch out of the uppity up group. Let them know that they're not all that untouchable.
KD2 IMX.
That's what the whole thing's over now. It's exactly what it's over. The right showing the left. You're not as great as you think you are. Go ahead, Bob.
I was just remarking that I haven't heard Al Sharpton or Jesse Jackson run into their defense.
Well, Al Sharpton better keep his big mouth shut because he owes about $6 million in back taxes, and why he's not in jail is beyond me.
You know who else does too is Charlie Rangel from the Harlem district there, the New York representative.
Right. So how come those people aren't in jail?
Because they're black.
I'm not going to touch that one.
But it's true. Unfortunate, it's true.
I want to pay my taxes. But, of course, you won't hear me anymore.
Well, I don't know what governor down south did.
What do you do?
If you don't know, I'm not going to tell you.
All right, no problem.
I'll tell you one thing: the Democrats right now are just they're losing sleep. I can guarantee it.
I tell you, I was reading an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal. They were talking about Joe Biden, and the guy was giving quotes from Joe Biden, saying, like when he was talking to college guys, like in MIT, he's talking to them. He said it's never, 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 never okay to touch a woman without her consent. And with him in the Obama administration, where these rules for the rights of the accused on college campuses, if you're a male accused of anything by a woman, it's the presumption of guilt, and it is just, and Biden and Obama trumpeted all that. This guy was going through all these things, and I'm telling you, I didn't fully realize. I knew it was bad, but if you are a male on a college campus and you get accused, you are guilty by accusation alone, and it's almost impossible to clear yourself. There was one kid who was, mentally disabled, took a selfie with a girl, and he had his hand on her leg. There was a big uproar over it. He was eventually cleared of all charges, but the record, it's still a black mark on his record, and Joe Biden and Obama were big proponents of that, so it's interesting to see how it turns around now. How do you like it when you're the accused there, Joe?
I love it. It's like it's all coming back to haunt these guys, It's like payback. Payback's marching its way back to them.
But in all honesty, Joe Biden has no right at all to be the president of this country because he just simply is not smart enough.
No, and he won't be. I mean, he just won't be. It's just not going to happen.
He tells good jokes.
And the other thing that just shocked me, read it and they go, Joe Biden, one of the more centrist members of the Democrat Party. And I said, holy moly. How far to the left has that party gone when Joe Biden is a moderate or a centrist?
It's true, though. He is more of a centrist than anybody else, I think, in that party.
Well, they say, just talking a little while ago, and Bernie is still in the lead, and they don't think anybody's ever going to catch him.
You know what Bernie's undoing will be like when he was running against Hillary, and that is the superdelegates, and that's kind of the last trump card that the party leaders can make sure the person they want gets in there. And it was interesting how it was okay for Hillary to get the Democrat nomination, but when the Electoral College went against her, all of a sudden it was bad. But it'll be interesting to see And that is what was another article. I've been catching up. I had a bunch of days I didn't read on the op-ed pages. Is Kamala Harris. She's not going to Iowa and New Hampshire, and she's playing the superdelegates card because she knows how to do that, and that's what worked for Hillary. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But I got to tell you, I have a couple of colleagues that they're ready to bolt out of the country and be expats, depending on who gets the Democrat nomination. If the wrong person gets the Democrat nomination, they don't want to chance it. Guys, it might be a little rash, but these are men of action, and they usually launch when they think they need to. KT duty.
I don't get what you're saying. Why are they going to leave?
Well, any number of reasons, but if let's just say Elizabeth Warren or to get the Democrat nomination, they don't want to chance anything happening like her being president or Kamala Harris or any of the others that they don't like. They just don't want to chance it. Any person with acquisitions and property and investments can be subject to not having as much of it as, when they start taxing acquisitions, that can be tough. So they don't want to change it. That's the best I can tell you. Could have a de-expedition station permanently on the island of Saba in the Caribbean.
Sounds like a nice place.
Can I come?
Absolutely. The door is always open. It's actually a tiny place. It's administered by the Dutch, and there's not a lot there, which they've already scoped it out. This is my buddy from Phoenix. He's already got it scoped out, so keep you posted.
Oh my God, look at it. It's gorgeous.
And you put a tower on top of that little peak there, Randy. I think you're surrounded by salt water, tropical salt water. You could probably do okay.
Where is this place?
Let me find it. It's either in the Windward or the Leeward Islands. Hold on, it's in the Caribbean. It's off the chain from Guadeloupe and Martinique, Antigua, that area, I think.
Yeah, that's kind of in a shaky area. Can you have your own guns?
We're still, these guys will not go where you can't have guns, but I'm a little bit worried about the Dutch connection here.
Well, why don't we all get together and just buy our own island?
Well, that's another option, too.
Look at these beaches. Oh, man. Yeah, I want to go there. And I want to go there now.
It'll probably pick up, Randy, so, get there quick, buy up some property, and then you'll be really sitting good. I wish I knew about that before my divorce. That would be a good place to stash some loot.
Yeah. You and I could talk, I'm sure, about that.
Where's Marcus Stainless Steliadius tonight?
Yeah, you're right. Maybe he worked hard today and he's resting. Maybe this is him tuning up.
So, Saba, Ray, is right just south south of St. Martin. There's Angela, UK, St. Bartholomew, St. Kitts and Nevis are just to the east, the southeast of it, so it's right around in that area there.
You know, it's a beautiful island. It's Cuba. Why don't we just take Cuba?
It really is. I mean, and Ray, you'd be in hog heaven. You could have your pick of a 53 Chevy, a 57 Cadillac. You got all of them there.
If that island was truly open, all we'd have to do is get a boat and start bringing cars out there. Just imagine the money you could get for them.
Let's go.
How you doing, Gary?
Hey, we can use Gary's boats. Exactly. What's the range of your boat? It can make 90 miles, right?
What was that, Ray?
I said your boat has a range of better than 90 miles.
I would think so. It holds 400 gallons of gas.
Better yet, I would hope it would.
What kind of fuel mileage does it get?
I really don't know, Ray.
Any idea at all?
Per mile.
Probably a mile to the gallon.
Oh.
It really stinks.
It's not as bad as the dump truck I drive every day.
You should have went with a diesel.
Yeah, but they get probably twice, but then again, diesel costs twice as much as gas at the pump.
Yeah, they got a lot more torque, though. You would use the engine a lot lighter. I think it would probably do a lot better than twice. Just because you're running slow, you know. I don't know, maybe not. But like you say, diesel's more expensive for sure.
It doesn't blow up when your bilge fills up with it.
That's the benefit.
I don't have a bilge on my boat. It's called an engine room.
Yeah, well, when it fills up with gasoline vapors and there's a spark, you watch what happens.
That would be, not to say that it can happen, but that would be tough to do.
Yeah, don't bet that for 1 second.
Exactly.
Somebody hit a gas main somewhere today, and I think 13 or 17 people died.
What happened, Ray? I doubled with you.
Somebody hit a gas main, and they were digging, and they hit a gas line, and they went into a bunch of houses, and the houses blew up, and I think 13 people died.
Oh.
Digging, and they hit a gas main.
Yeah, it happens all the time. It happened in Springfield about, 8 or 9 years ago. This place, all of a sudden they smelled gas. They called the fire department. This is one of those cute stories. They called the fire department, and the fire department came, and the fire department cleared let's say 100 or 200 yards completely around the place because they smelled gas coming into this place. And it was on the news, and I said, that's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. They're overdoing this. This thing is 10 miles from my house. All of a sudden, my house gets rocked. I mean, windows are rattling and everything, and that place blew up. And I'm telling you, I'm 10 miles away, and it shook my house. I thought it was in an earthquake.
One of our guys hit a gas line and blew up a house.
Well, I'll tell you, those gas explosions are vicious. I mean, the places all around there, for 100 yards around there, the windows were blown out. That one place just put new porches on the back of one of those big 4-story apartment buildings. It almost ripped the porch right off the back. I know another guy, my old buddy's garage down there, they just put this big, huge garage door in. It blew it right off the tracks. I mean, this thing was vicious when it went off.
Yeah, it's a fuel air explosive. I must be missing something, but if I want to put a tree in my yard, I have to call and get, there's a number I call in New York State, and they come and they mark out all the stuff, the gas and everything else, and like when guys are working on the road, I can tell something's going to happen because the road gets all marked out or something, but I mean, geez, gas lines are dangerous. Aren't they supposed to know where they are, or they just the guys just start digging? I must be missing something.
They never know where everything is. That stuff's been in the ground 30, 40, 50 years. It wasn't marked. Nobody knows it's there. It happens all the time.
Yeah, okay. I'm in a kind of a newer area, so, and it's residential, so there's probably not a lot of old stuff there, but probably, you don't know. I guess that explains it.
Wow, I'm not moving to Saba. These bungalows cost $450,000, $500,000 for a bungalow.
With your concrete block money, come on.
Randy, you're still checking out Saba, huh?
Well, yeah, I would go there, sure. I'm just looking at these. These are ocean. Well, you know what though? For $1 million, you can buy a pretty nice home with a pretty nice view. I wonder what the taxes are. 3 acres of grounds in Hell's Gate with the sea and mountain views. $800,000 for a little shack on a cliff. Oh man, I'm not sure if I want to be that close to a cliff.
Yeah, it's if you look at it, it's basically, it looks like a volcanic peak sticking out of the sea. But I got to get on the ground and check it out and see what really goes on. Things like taxes, how much is electricity? Because a little place like that, you don't know. It's kind of small, but one of my buddies came up with it, so I got to get on the ground and check it out.
South Carolina. Still, that's where Nick moved. I mean, Nick's paying $800 and something a year in taxes down in South Carolina. That's the place to go. I could live off the difference in the taxes.
I'd rather stay here in New York and have a good signal.
A couple of acres down there with a good acquaintance that's been chomping at me to move down there. That's another option too.
There's places down. There's states down south where there's no property tax. But the big thing about South Carolina, where everybody goes, is your retirement is not taxed in South Carolina.
No, there's states down there that have no income tax. Everybody's got property taxes.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's places down there that have no property tax.
Yeah, I got a friend in the Atlanta area, and it's by school district there. There are some school districts that don't put property tax on retirees, which that's pretty nice.
Well, when we moving? Come on, I'm ready. Hopefully this house is going tomorrow or the next day. My lawyer called me up today and he said you got to go down to the house and get the water meter reading, so they must be getting ready to do it.
I'm ready to half back it.
Randy, why don't you finish your barn? I'll move in your barn.
How much did you get for that house?
$140.
You need a bit more.
To move into your barn?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You're a slave driver.
Well, psychiatrists are very expensive, and I don't want to go to prison for shooting you.
Well, you see, I only need one room finished off, and hell, that's it. I mean, all I need. Don't worry, I'll put up my own tower with my N1 DVL special antenna. And with the antennas only separated by 200 or 300 feet, then you can't bitch about having a lower signal.
I wouldn't.
There's only one problem if I live that close. It might burn out the front end of your receiver.
It may, but I'm certain that mine would burn.
How do I sound tonight? How does my pattern look? I'm running the Commander tonight.
Hey, you sound good.
Yeah, how does the buckshot look on the sides? Hello, test. Mary had a little lamb.
Not too bad. You're running, what are you running, about 7?
700 watts? No, I'm running probably about 1,400 watts.
I meant 7 kcs wide.
No, I'm running 3.4.
I knew you meant.
Oh boy, he's in trouble, huh? Yeah, no, it's not bad. You're not way out there.
Well, I look on my display, okay? And when I run the mic gain at 60, and I look at the display, I'm coming up on the opposite sideband now. I'm coming up 20 plus dB. When I run it at 30, I'm only coming up 10 plus dB. So the average is way, way better on the opposite sideband. So and I run the mic gain at 30 now. So this should be fairly clean.
You're 6 wide with your buckshot. You're about 3.5, 4, your main signal, but your buckshot is way down from your major parts of your signal. You know what I mean? You're out there 3 up, 3 down, maybe even a little bit more, but it's so minor it's not worth talking about.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. It should be fairly clean because this amp's clean, number one, and I'm running the mic gain light.
I wouldn't sweat it. You're not. You won't be too offensive. Listening on my second receiver up 3 kcs. You're not too bad.
Okay, leave it on. You're listening up 3 kc right now, right?
Yeah. Let me just put it back on. I had it off. Hang on. I gotta switch my light on so I can get to the right. I always hit the wrong button.
Too many buttons.
Okay, now I'm going to put it back. Okay, here's 3. Yep, I'm looking at 3 above. 3 above right now.
Okay, now tell me how much buckshot I'm giving you. 3 above. Mary had a little lamb. Her fleece was white as snow. How's that?
With no filters on at all, and no preamp, and no, none of that crap on, you're about 22 over.
I'm hitting you 22 over on the opposite sideband?
Yep, you're 22 over, and you're 30 over on the primary frequency.
No, something's not right. There's no way it can be that bad. No way, because I'm looking at my display here, and I'm 10, 20, 30. I'm 40 dB down on the opposite sideband.
Well, I mean, that's what you're doing, so I don't know. Gary, take a look.
I double with you.
Go ahead, make a transmission. I think Gary's going to look at it.
Okay, Mary had a little lamb. Her fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
Did you look, Gary?
No, I was just watching to see where he was at right now. He's like 3.3 right now.
Now, what you have to do, you have to tune up. You have to tune up at least 3 kc. So the other receiver should be on 33, and then that filter in that receiver's got to be set at like 27. That's what you have to do. So set the filter width at 27, and you're up 3 kc. Obviously, if you put on a 4 kc wide filter and you're up 3, I'm in the pass band.
Well, that's what I said. There's no 3 points. Now, here's a 2.4 filter. Go ahead.
Okay, good. That's good. Leave it on 2.4, and you're up on 33. So Mary had a little lamb. Her fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
Yeah, it's far better. You're S9.
And then here I'm, 30 over?
I couldn't copy. I had the volume on the second receiver up. What?
What am I giving you here? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right now you're at 20, a little over 20.
Yeah, that sucks. Okay, now I'm going to shut the processor off. I just shut the processor off. Now look at my buckshot again. Ready? Hello. Mary had a little lamb. Her fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
Yeah, it's a lot better when the processor's off.
Well, how much better? What kind of buckshot you seeing now?
About an 8, but it's very, very, it's mixing with the noise now.
Yeah, okay.
We got our room locked in.
They have one left over for you?
They did.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Hey, Randy, you're pretty bassy. Are you on your Shure mic?
No, I'm not. I'm on my PR40. Is it too bassy? Bob told me he thought it sounded great.
Sounds great.
No, it's just bassier than normal. I mean, yeah, it's got really good audio no matter what.
I think it's a matter of preference. I think you guys tend to don't like bassy, because I've heard you guys talk to each other saying it's too bassy, but it sounds fine to me. So, you guys got the calibrated ears.
It's fine if the signal's real strong, but if you're going through noise, really bad noise, or the signal's not strong, that bass is awful hard to understand. There's somebody came in there really
nice
weak.
and bassy. Sounds good here.
Yeah, and it's pretty quiet here tonight. Last night was wicked noisy.
I hear voice every once in a while. Is somebody trying to get in? What happened to the guy down in New York with the vertical? Are you in there? We had two new guys come in real early. A guy with a vertical, I think in Brooklyn, didn't have a big signal, and a guy with one of Joe's antennas, big. He said it's 265 feet long, and he was out towards Boston. I told these guys to come back, but I don't hear either one of them.
Ray, I think it's you coming through on the long path.
Oh, okay, yeah. Reflecting off of Mars?
Nah, just taking the long path around the world.
Yeah, but that would only take a third of a second, not even.
KD2, INX.
Go ahead, Bob.
Roger. I want to ask you a question. What am I hitting you with?
Almost 20 over 9.
Roger. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's good for you. Did you change something?
No, I turned the amp on.
Well, that'll definitely do it.
And how?
What am I hitting you with now?
A little bit more. I only got a real quick look at the meter. It looked like it was a little over 20. Randy, I just want to let you know, if one of those tubes go bad in my amp, that's it. I'm all done. I won't be able to run an amp anymore.
Now, Bob, that's not very nice to think that. He was just thinking to himself, whoa, wouldn't that be nice?
Who, me?
The other Bob.
Who, me?
That's the Bob.
I don't know.
Tootie.
He'd never know how to get his new tuner to work.
When's that going to be coming in? When do we get our new tuner?
The new tuner is supposed to be delivered Friday.
Oh, outstanding. We can work on that all weekend.
Yes, we can. And I got to get out there with a bow and arrow and some line to string wire.
Be very careful when you're turning that crank handle. When you start getting towards 0 or when you get towards 245, you'll hit the stop. You don't want to hit the stops real hard.
Yeah, they had a bunch of, I was reading all the literature on it, and that was one of the things that stuck out in my head, and I thought, yep, that's a good idea, so I hope I don't violate that.
I don't know why he doesn't put a little rubber. I bet I could probably do that. Get a nice little piece of rubber and glue it right on that. You could see where to glue it, and then when you hit the stop, it wouldn't be a solid bang like that.
Yeah, that's the, like your gunsmith guy.
Yep.
So we are one tube away from a silent ray. Do I understand it right?
Well, I have two good tubes in my commander, but if one was to go bad, then I'd be like off the air. And Randy's supposed to be working on getting me another tube. What was wrong with that tube you bought, Randy? Did it have output? Didn't you buy a CX800?
Those are either rare or expensive or both. Do I understand that right?
Yeah, iMac makes them, and iMac's out of control, and they just keep on going. They're like $1,100.
Good Lord. And then there was some discussion about modifying the circuit to accept some of the Russian ones, the Soviet ones.
Yeah, that would be crazy, because those are triodes. No, not triodes. They're, what do they call a 4-element tube? I'm having a mental block. What's a 4-element tube?
A pentode, a quadrode.
No, what's a 4-element tube called?
Tetrode.
What is it?
Isn't it a tetrode?
No.
Tetrod.
Yeah, TED is 4, right?
Okay, tetrode, right. Triode. The three CX800s are triodes, and the tetrode's the 4-element, and they're a pain in the neck to get working in an amp. You could do it, but it's not worth it. The zero bias triodes, which are the ones that are in this amp, they're the ones you want. I've got two tubes. One of them's no good. One of them is gassy or something, and it run about 500 or 600 watts with it, and after that it starts to arc internally. But the other one is good, so I just need one more new tube so I can have a spare pair. The tubes in the amp are good, and they could last 10 or 20 years, but they're from 1992, so 92, 2002, 2012. They're 27, 92, 2002, 2012, so 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, they're 27 years old now.
What are you looking for, a 3CPX800?
It's 3CX800, yeah, 3CX. I probably could use a CPX. I don't think it'd make much difference.
And I'm back. Sorry, I walked away to get my sleeping pills. KB2ZVP.
Roger, I got a 3 CPX800 A7 for $650.
You have one of them?
No, just two. If you want, what's it? Give me a second. Here's new pools.
Where the hell did you get those?
A guy who's on the fresh pair of new iMac 3CX 1500 A7 tubes for $1675.
A pair?
Roger.
Yeah, well, that's a different tube. That's the 8877 you're talking about.
All right. There's another one. He has one new and a matched one for $950.
Well, yeah, I'm not quite following you. Is that one tube or two tubes?
It's one new tube and another tube that's matched, with the same a matched pair would be for $950.
Yeah, that's a fair price if the tubes are good. But you're looking at that off the internet, right?
No, that's an email that was sent to me.
Now, do you own two of those tubes or not?
No, I don't. This was an email that was sent to me by a guy who's selling them.
Yeah, okay. Well, I would prefer to buy one off of somebody I knew, I just need one. I just need one good tube, and that's enough for me, because then I'll have two pair, and that'll last me forever.
Roger.
K1 DSK. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Devin. N2 Echo Whiskey Mike at the top.
Man, does that sound good, that thing?
Hello, Devin.
Hello, everyone. Sipping some decaf tea, chamomile tea.
Does chamomile tea help you sleep?
Not me. Some people it does. But at this time, after 4 o'clock, I cannot drink any caffeine. So anything that's hot water and some taste, a little bit taste, is good.
Well, you just said you drink chamomile tea, right?
Tea is a misnomer. Anything with other herbs and other things. The herbal tea is not really tea. They are herbal leaves and branches and all those things. Yeah, herbal tea, chamomile tea.
Okay.
Hey, Randy, I need a favor.
Yes, sir.
I lost the email Maureen had sent about the hotel location. I think I was in India at that time on my cell phone. I may have deleted it. I can't find it. Could you send me that anything or ask them to send it?
Yeah, we can do that. I don't know where my phone is right now, but I'll have you got Devin's email?
I don't, but I'll send it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll get it to you, Devin.
All right, great. So I want to make sure I have a room pretty soon.
Your signal's awful small tonight, Devin. Are you running your just 100 watts?
Oh, I'm running. Let's see, hold up.
Thank you, Ray.
WA3FPN.
5 watts. It's a QRP. I forgot to turn the amp off. It was on standby.
Yeah, okay. Is that you, Mike? Go ahead.
Yeah, that's me. Just saying hi. Yeah, I was wondering what was going on there with Devin, too. I could hardly hear him at all.
Did you get your results?
Yes, I did.
And what do we got to face?
What?
What are we facing?
Oh, they're going to do some cutting for sure. I don't know which yet, and I can't get in to see the doctor until next Thursday.
I can't go with you. I've got a financial meeting. That's the 18th, right? So, yeah, I can't go with you. I'm sorry.
Well, I can give you $20 if it'll help you out.
Sure, I'll take it.
Okay, when you get here, I'll give it to you.
So it should be okay now. Back the amplifier is on. 5 watts and 1,000 watts. Big difference.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Well, I can hear you now.
Yeah, way better.
I concur.
Generally, when I go away, I turn the amp on standby. And since it's computer controlled, sometimes I don't see it and just start talking.
And hello, Tom.
Hi, Randy. Mike, Ray, Devin, evening.
Hey, Tom.
Hello, Tom. What was for dinner tonight?
What was for dinner tonight? We had taco salad.
Taco salad. What do you have in the salad? What kind of herbs? What kind of meat? What kind of taco? Corn taco or wheat taco?
The corn taco and a flavored hamburger.
Good, good. Hey, Ray, what was your dinner tonight?
Chicken legs and Brussels sprouts.
And how did you cook them?
I boiled the Brussels sprouts in some broth for about an hour with pepper, and the chicken legs I cook on the grill with just garlic and pepper.
Have you tried roasting the Brussels sprouts and potatoes and all those things, so steaming?
Yeah, a lot of people have done that. I've tried them before. I prefer them. I like to boil them, and I'll boil them for a real long time until they're nice and soft. They're not bitter. You know, a lot of people complain about Brussels sprouts. They're very bitter, but that's because they don't cook them enough.
Yeah, lately, for almost a year, we got into roasting everything, all the vegetables, with some olive oil, a little bit of salt, and that's it. Very good.
Now you're talking, Devin.
Well, I think you put olive oil, a little salt, and roast. You can almost eat anything that way.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Have you changed something, Gary? It just sounds better tonight.
Well, my antenna is about 40 feet higher.
Maybe it's because your signal's higher, I don't know, but your audio sounds real good, nice and full.
No, that's about it, yeah. Sunday I had to put my, I finally got to get the antenna a little higher.
to ask you this. Everybody says higher the antenna, it's better. How high is better, or how high is too much?
Well, here, you got your computer. So you got a computer with an antenna program?
Yes.
Well, I can answer that question to absolute perfection. Okay. Take a 160-meter dipole and put it at 30 feet. Then look at the pattern with the antenna. So you're looking down the long way of the antenna. So the antenna's running north and south, okay, and you are looking at it from the south. So that you're going to have basically a circle. You're going to be looking at a circle as the pattern of the antenna, right?
Oh, Ray, it's a rhetorical question. You don't have to explain the radiation pattern, all those things.
No, wait, I'm not done. Because your question is a very good question, and most people don't understand this. So, as you raise the antenna up, first of all, the angle of radiation is going to be 90 degrees. We all agree on that, right?
You know why I'm asking the question. I'm going to bring up the crane thing.
Okay, but it's a really good question. So anyway, the whole point is, if you look at an antenna, if you look at a pattern of a dipole antenna from the long end, and you put it at 30 feet, you'll see so much energy going straight up. You put it at 40 feet, that energy going straight up now, it gets higher. 50 feet, 60 feet, 70 feet. And that energy going straight up at 90 degrees keeps on getting more and more powerful until it comes off of 90 degrees and it starts going 85, 80, and so forth and so on. So actually the perfect place for an antenna, for the way we do it, is where the angle comes off of 90 degrees. But the point is, if you put an antenna at 30 feet and you put an antenna at, say, 80 feet, the antenna at 80 feet, I'm guessing, is going to be probably 10 dB stronger, even though the angle's going to be the same.
Let's talk in wavelength terms. Yeah, I did a lot of modeling on this. The reason I'm asking you is, remember I was on earlier, I was talking about my visit to UConn campus, and was coming back, I saw this crane. It was the biggest crane I ever seen, and I was talking to the guy who handles the crane. The crane goes up to 375 feet, and if the jib is out, it'll be 425 feet. So I told him, this is my dream, to own a crane like this so I can put my antenna up there. So I asked him, how much does this cost? Used. He said, used one will cost you about $2.5 million, and new one about $3.3 million. So my dream was short-lived for 10 seconds. So the question was, would there be any benefit to put an antenna at 425 feet, which for, different bands will be different wavelengths. So if you are one wavelength high, or two wavelength high, or three wavelength high, is there a significant gain? So it's worth investing the money. Go ahead.
Yes, there'd be a huge difference in your signal, but after about a quarter of a wavelength, it starts to become directional.
Yes, that's true. So for a Y antenna, you'll have two lobes and a null, but the angle will come down. And for Yagi, it's directional, but the angle will start. I guess it depends on what you use for. If for DX, maybe. If for like RACU, for our style of thing, you don't want it too high.
No, you want it a quarter wavelength, 125 feet, probably be perfect.
All right, good. That answers question, so I don't feel bad not be able to afford that crane.
So, Devin.
Go ahead.
I sent you the email. Okay, first of all, let's talk about that. I sent the email over to your DSK at at Devin.dsk. So I did that, okay? But I'm looking at your website, and I see an awful lot of information, really good information, some good-looking pictures and all that stuff. But I can't find the big paragraph about the world-famous Toad Harbor net.
Well, that has not been updated for a long time. The website has to be redone, a lot of new pictures and new description. That's the experience before when I started about a year ago or 2 years ago. So I'll have to update it. Yes, I'm a little slow on this. You have a good point.
Well, I'm not interested in why you didn't do it, and I just want to know one thing. When's it going to get done?
Randy, I think he's embarrassed by us.
I am a retired person. I have no schedule, no deadline, no goals, nothing. I'm an official bum.
Hey, Devin.
Go ahead.
I mentioned the Toad Harbor net twice on my QRZ page, and I got in trouble, so just take it from that.
Well, he had it on the bottom of the page. I mean, it should be in the opening. You should have a big radio displaying 1930 on the display. That's what it needs to be.
With lots of lightning bolts.
Well, it's like, it's politics. I'm independent in politics, and you get in trouble from both sides. So I don't know whether to mention it or not.
Hey, Ray.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so just wanted to say about if you're looking for a bedtime tea, what has worked for me, and this is just take it for what it's worth. Celestial Seasonings has a nice bedtime. They have it called Sleepy Time Tea, and it has chamomile, spearmint, lemongrass, tilia flowers, whatever they are, blackberry leaves, orange blossoms, hawthorn, and rosebuds. So I don't know if it's placebo effect, but I like it. It's tasty, and it seems to calm me down. But give it a try. You might like it, and it's all natural stuff.
Well, that's what Maureen gives me.
Is it the Celestial Seasonings Sleepy Time Tea?
With a little bear in the rocking chair. You better believe it.
Yep, that's the one. That's the one.
Oh, I second that. We take that too. It's a very good tea. Second that.
But I'm telling you guys, I'm not sure I'm ready to take a mellowed out Randy just yet.
Well, I'm in here all the time. I've already had my sleeping pills, and a lot of times when I'm really wound up, Maureen will just come in with a handful of some pills, and she'll just give me a glass and pills, and you're going to need these to calm down. So yeah, I'm already into the sleeping pills.
Oh, so you're already mellowed. That's why. All right, and Ray will be a work in progress, I guess.
Yeah, it's funny because if I'm talking to people and I got my head going, I could just keep going. It seems like I don't know when I would stop. I used to work from 4 in the morning till midnight every single day, and it would just be nothing because. But yet, if I sit in front of a TV set next to Maureen, all cuddled up, boy, I can. Or if we're going to go someplace and Maureen's driving, then it's like if I can't sleep at night, she'll take me for a ride like a little kid, and I'm right out.
She strap you in.
Was that Mike?
Yeah, W2MUR. Hey, everybody.
Hey, now I know we were talking about you coming over here Friday. I have to cancel that plan if you were even going to do it. Bromley has to go in for surgery.
Oh, what, on his foot?
Yeah. On his foot, he was limping real bad, and we thought it was because of the nail. We took the nail off, and a few days later, he started limping around, and Maureen's like, Bromley's really limping. And I said, it didn't seem to make sense that he was limping for that nail that got cut off. And she was looking at his paw, and he's got a big tumor there. And it was kind of bloody because he had scratched it off. He was running around, and he wore it off. So he's got a tumor on his foot that's got to be taken off.
That's crazy. I actually, you know what? I've got my son just called me and said that him and
him and my son and his wife and my granddaughter are going down to South Jersey, so they're dropping off their little dog, their long-haired dachshund, not like the car, right? Dropping her off on Friday, so that would have been a bit of a problem. I probably could have worked around that, but yeah, I totally get it, man. Just to let you know, my ex-wife has got cancer again, so I was really kind of sad to hear that.
Well, first we'll talk about the dachshund. You could have brought the dachshund with you. I mean, Brownlee gets along with all dogs, so you've been more than welcome to bring whatever animal you had with you. Of course, we don't mind, but he has to stay quiet after this, right? And it's too bad about your ex-wife having cancer. Is it? Do you know how bad it is or anything?
Well, it's really interesting because, she was kind of cured. She had Hodgkin's, and that was cured. So they found a little spot in there, and after many consultants, I just can't believe it, but she's got to get a double mastectomy, man. I can't believe it.
That's rough on a woman, but better than dying, for sure.
Yeah, well, I just thought it earlier, and then today, it's different because, like her mom had mastectomy, but, they don't replace anything. Today, they get a mastectomy, then they got to wait 3 months, then they get implants, So it was kind of shocking.
Good evening, Bad Mike, and 2 Echo Whiskey Mike on the 20.
Good evening.
And 1 DVL.
Kind of jumping the gun there, Gary, on that 20, weren't you?
Nope, it's 20 right now.
Yeah, it is now, but, you're like 15 seconds fast.
Hey, where's
No,
Jeff?
I was 5 seconds late, actually.
KB2ZVP.
Hey, Jeff, are you out?
You're medicated. You can't tell time.
I can see. Who are you looking for?
Jeff in Canada.
Hey, Mike, you can come down here for dinner on Friday if you like.
Do you want to just give guys handles now, Ray? You don't want to use a call sign anymore?
I can't think of his call.
It's so hard to look at that sheet of paper you got right next to your right hand.
I'd have to move it. Yeah, he was supposed to get some information about how the clock in this radio runs like 2 seconds a day slow. So there's got to be some kind of an adjustment.
VE3WL, right?
Yeah. That's another reason I would never own one of those piles of those Kenwoods. I'd always be pissed off because Gary would always be fast.
Well, next thing you know, we'll be calling each other by our handles.
Yeah, like Bad Mike or something.
Exactly.
That's not exactly right, Randy. It's Bad Mike.
You got to put a little Bo Peep on it.
Speaking of Bo Peep, I was thinking about her today.
For what?
I was going to suggest that you try texting me one of those pictures from her cell phone and see if her phone is as screwed up as yours.
Oh, if you want to find a screwed up cell phone, hers is the one. She can't even find stuff on it. So I got to get a little caught up here, so if anyone wants to catch me up, but what's the latest on the HiQ antenna, the based HiQ antenna?
Well, there's a story, isn't there? So somebody, and I'm going to blame it on you because I let you borrow my truck. I'm sending my HiQ antenna back to Charlie because I blew a hole through the side of it. What? Yeah, I was on 80 meters, and all of a sudden it started like hazing up, It was just like a haze in the air. And I was talking to my friends in the morning, and then all of a sudden I noticed that the tune went out. I said, oh, crap. And I just stopped transmitting. I got to work and looked at it, and sure enough, I have a burn mark in the side of the antenna. So then I tried it on, because then I figured, screw it, it's toast. So I tried it on 60 meters, and I couldn't get it to tune. So it's got to go back. I got to take so I'm going to wind up taking the antenna that's behind me and put it on the truck, and we're going to have to order. I got to get a hold of Glenn. He's going to have to order a new antenna from Charlie.
There comes a time when you just got to throw in the towel. Those antennas, just as good as they are, they're just kind of useless.
Absolute junk.
What do you mean? They're not for me, Glenn. They're a great antenna, but you just can't use them when they get coated with moisture on the outside. Not moisture, not rain. It can't be electrically conductive mist, okay? And that's where the problem is.
Okay, so what was the environmental situation that happened?
It was just spray off the road. It was getting misty. The roads got wet, and the spray from the car ahead of me was spraying the antenna with salt water.
You know, it's so amazing. Oh, yeah, salt water. So when I went to Mike, Good Mike's on, I thought I heard Good Mike on there. You there, Good Mike?
Yes.
Yeah, so when I went to Dayton last year, and I remember it just raining like crazy, but it was May, so there was no salt on the roads. But man, I mean, that thing can take some serious moisture, but not the salt.
Wait, when 5G is just around the corner. When 5G comes out, you'll be able to just use your base station.
Do you know, I emailed Charlie just before I went on vacation, maybe a week before, and I placed an order for 2 antennas and a bunch of miscellaneous stuff, and then I resent it before I went, so I sent it twice, and he still has not responded to me.
He was away, and I just got 2 hub parts that I was waiting for from him. He sent me an email. Did you send him an email?
Yeah. I say he wants it he wants an email with the list of parts and all of that information on there, and my address and everything. So it would be hysterical if they showed up on my porch, in the next week.
Hysterical? Then you got to pay him the money.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's the way he always works. He sends it, and then I pay.
Yeah, that's the same way it works for me. He's good in that regard.
Yeah, so I mean, I've got a good working antenna, but like I said, that's why I was interested in what was going on, because I really want to put that up as a base antenna.
I'm surprised yours will work. Have you tried it?
Oh yeah, it works great, man. It works fantastic. It's got a big lightning streak down it, like a varicose vein.
Well, I'd put this heat shrink. I got that heat shrink I was telling you about, that 7-inch heat shrink. I got that. So I would put a piece of that over it and shrink it down.
Oh, yeah, man. I got to get you some money for that.
Yeah, it was $600.
So we divide that by 3.
Yeah, I'll take 200. Sure, no problem. Maureen says make the check out to her.
She got to do that. You got to take that $40 check under the glass and subtract.
I'm out, guys. N2 Echo Whiskey Mike, 7-3s all the way around.
Is that Gary?
Oh, you sound tired, Gary.
I am exhausted, Ray.
Gary, I get up 4 o'clock every morning, and I listen to Fox News and the Twitter feed, and that's the way I live.
Yeah, you get up, you go take a leak, and you go back to bed and listen to the radio.
Exactly. But my buddy William Bill Barr is doing a great job as Attorney General.
Oh, are you kidding me? This next year, and when those bozos start running, the Democratic bozos all start beating each other up, it is going to be incredible.
Michelle Obama's going to sweep in and come to the rescue.
I think her and her husband are probably going to be in jail.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Sean Hannity was on fire tonight. He was just nonstop, basically saying, "See, I told you so."
Bill Barr admits in front of the Senate committee that Trump was spied on. Just unbelievable.
Yeah, and that pissed those other people off, because now they're shitting scared, because they know damn well he's coming after them. And you know what? Half of those people are going to go to jail. And if they charge them with what they should charge them for, the overthrow of the United States government, they could go to jail for life.
It's a sad deal for America. It's treasonous. It's disgusting. It's disgraceful. It's horrible. It's treasonous. Believe me.
Just remember one thing, okay? And this is I drop way down on power here because I turn the amp off. I mean, I put power.
10-3 or
there we go, back up to 100. Anyway, just remember this all. I told you this in the beginning. They messed with the wrong guy. Trump always gets even 10 times. I've heard him say it 100 times. He said, people ask him, don't you get sued? He says, yeah, I only get sued once. He said, I get sued one time. After that, they learn that they don't mess around with me. These people are going to learn a valuable lesson from Trump. He's being very quiet about it, but I'm telling you right now, he's going to do to them what they did to everybody else. And those other people are all going to get pardons, and they're going to get paid back because those people are going to sue all those people that did this to them. That general never deserved what he got, and he's out like $5 million, and somebody's going to pay, and he's going to end up suing all these other idiots.
Well, the Republican, Devin Nunes, I think it's Nunes, right? He's suing for $250 million. I think he's suing either the New York Times or I can't remember who it is, CNN or somebody for 2 years of proliferating lies and fake news.
McClatchy newspapers.
Hello, Mark.
Somebody call me?
I just said hello.
So, Mark, when are you going to get a real mic?
At a meeting.
He's in a meeting? What do you say?
He's in a meeting.
Religious meeting.
Okay, you're forgiven.
Have them take up a collection for your new radio. I'm going to bed. Good night, all. N1DBL.
Ray, what are you going to bed for? You've only been on the air since 5:30 in the afternoon.
I know. Well, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to watch a little TV and get a nice drink of cold water and wash my face and brush my teeth and then jump into Betty.
So
have some tea, chamomile tea, or sleepy time tea. Good night, Ray.
Yep, good night, everybody. I'm going to check out as well. It's time for me to get to bed, so we'll see you all tomorrow night. KB2ZVP.
Good night, Randy. Good night, Ray. KC3 KXP.
Good night, Ray, Randy. Hey, Tom.
Good night, Ray, Randy. Yeah, that's a good one.
Devin, it's good to hear your voice after many months.
Boy, I was so busy. I was trying to miss the radio, but honestly, taking care of Mom, I didn't have any time to think about radio. But when I'm back, I'm so glad. I'm back on the radio, back here, back home, and just get into regular projects and talk to my buddies. Life can be so good.
So everything's
Mike,
good with your mom when you left her?
You said, I don't know if you want to talk about it. Your ex-wife has cancer. Did she have it before, and what kind?
Yeah, she had Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is very curable, but it was a horrible thing. It would actually press up against her mediasternum, and when they gave her the chemo, she kind of melted away, and she was cured in, I think she got diagnosed in May of 2001. She was completely cured by December, same year, and that was it. She had been cancer-free since 2001.
I think, I'm not sure, let me check. They might have new antibody drugs, immune therapy for those things, which is not chemo, which are not as harsh on the body. So if you have those, that should be much easier. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, she can't take any more chemo because it's damaged her. But no, they're going to take the surgical approach to this, and I don't know if they're going to do any radiation on top of it. My son's going down this weekend, and he'll get the latest, greatest. I just hate that she's got to be so radical with this. It's unfortunate.
Well, I wish her best, very best. I hope she comes out of this without any pain, much suffering, and comes out really soon. They have good medicine now. Best wishes. Okay,
Thank you. I appreciate it. And for my kids' sake, I just wish her the best. I mean, it's hard for me to pick up a phone, call her, and talk to her about it, but I know what she's going through. Because I was with her every moment of every second, every treatment, every exam, every appointment, and I was with her through every single moment of the dark time that she went through. So I can only imagine what she's going through. No matter what we've went through, I would never wish that on anybody. You know, just for my kid's sake, I hope she gets better, and for her sake as well. But so everything was good with your mom when you left her?
By the time I left, she had moved with my sister, and her health was back, and she was walking and eating pretty well. But at one time, sometime in early February, we got a real scare. I thought, my gosh, this is it. She's not going to survive another 2 weeks. She had fluid in her lungs and a very tough time breathing. So she was in emergency twice, and I was pretty much a nurse for her for 6 weeks. But I'm glad everything worked out, and she's fine. All right, on another note, so tell me about your trip to Israel. Was it something good, so good that you will go back? Would you go back there again?
Absolutely. So I went down to Florida. I had a couple week window here in my lighting business. I had been very busy in the winter unexpectedly with Colgate University. We were doing a lot of lighting on top of buildings and stuff, and kind of got over my fear of heights, that's for sure. But then after it was all done, I said there's a little window here, so I went down to my good friend in Florida, and we stayed a few days with him. My sister in Virginia went to Wright Airfield, Wright Brothers. We saw the airfield there, and it was very windy there, and I had an opportunity to do some hang gliding, but they were all booked up, so I couldn't do it. That would have been fun. I would have had a blast doing that. It's kind of a safe place to do it. It's over the sand, and I told my sister, I said, I don't know, for me, I would probably be, the wind would get me, and I'd be out in the ocean. I don't know how they control people with that issue, but so then after that, I got on Royal Jordanian Airways flight to Amman, Jordan. I went from Amman to Tel Aviv, a day in Tel Aviv, and I'm driving. I picked up a car at Tel Aviv, rental, and I drove that rental up to Migdal, which is the Sea of Galilee. Stayed in a Sea of Galilee hotel and explored a little bit. It was gorgeous weather. I saw parrots. I was shocked to see parrots, in the trees and getting their nests together, and just wild parrots, beautiful sound, and the birds were everywhere up there. The birds are chirping, the green, the spring, was just beautiful in Israel. I mean, you think about that place in 1948 when they became a nation, it was just a ball of dirt, and now it's just, they've got their agricultural geniuses. They've got fruits and vegetables, and everything was fresh all over the country, and it's just unbelievable. The food was just spectacular. I took a boat ride on the Sea of Galilee by myself, well, not by myself, but with with another group. I was kind of like a solo guy, and went up to a national park and looked around until I saw the sign you had to walk 1.5 miles to get to the top, and I decided not to do that. Then from there, I went down to Old City, Jerusalem, and looked around for a couple of days there, and it was just fantastic. I just definitely would go back. I wish I could have stayed another week. I mean, that apartment I was in was unbelievable, and people were wonderful and very friendly. I got lost one night just from my apartment, and then the GPS wasn't really accurate, and so one guy bailed me out and showed me where it was, and it's I was in the Jewish quarter. They have the Jewish quarter, the Christian quarter, the Muslim quarter, and I think one more that I forgot about, but just very safe. Everything's very safe. Everybody seems to get along pretty well. There wasn't any problems when I was over there, so it worked very well. I almost ended up in the Palestinian side of things, but I flipped it around pretty quickly there. Anyway, W2MUR for the ID.
Oh, let me make sure that other people are not waiting. Anybody else wants to join in, please feel free. This is Kilo 1, Delta Sierra Kilo. Oh, yeah, in the tropics, when you go, the fruits and vegetables, they're amazing, fresh and really delicious. There's taste to those vegetables. And second, did you go to Dead Sea, and did you float in there? Go ahead.
No, I didn't. It's funny, Devin. I didn't go to all the tourist spots. I had no desire because I wanted to go off the beaten path. So I didn't go into a lot of the churches and a lot of things like that. I did go to the mount. I went to, like I said, the Sea of Galilee. I looked around in Tiberias in the fishing area. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. There's a lot of touristy type things I could have seen. Like I think I did, the only touristy thing I did was the Sea of Galilee boat tour. I didn't go through a lot of museums. I had very little time. But when I was down in Jerusalem, I went to the Mount of Olives, Garden of Gethsemane on my own. I went down to the Dome of the Rock and Western Wall. I went down there. Funny story. I went down there. You got to go through security, and you get your little keeper hat that you got to put on, and everybody's trying to sell you stuff. So I'm walking down the ramp towards the wall, and all of a sudden I hear this lady screaming at me, I thought she was trying to sell me something. She's screaming at me, and no, come back, what are you doing? So I guess I was going down they got the women's side and they got the guys' side. I was going down on the women's side, so that's a big no-no.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's, a lot of cultures are that. They keep them separate. K1DSK along with W2MUR, please feel free to join. I'll wait for somebody to call in, otherwise we'll continue our chat.
KC1RS for ID.
Hello, Russ. Please come and join in. We didn't want to exclude people. I thought a lot of people have left. So, have you had a good vacation lately? Go ahead.
Oh, you talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to you.
I'm on a miniature vacation right now, but I'm not getting any rest and relaxation. I'm in the process of getting all the flower beds ready and all the sticks picked up, and I'm working on a noise reducing antenna. I don't know if I sent you the plans for that or not, but it would be something that you probably ought to look into.
Let's see. Well, a working vacation. That's a different type of vacation where you got to do work at home. You are probably more tired on this vacation than you normally are. Yeah, you got to get the garden ready that time of the year. Noise reducing. What do you have? Is that in a regular antenna or is this a separate antenna?
Well, it's as quiet as a beverage, but it only needs to be about 50 feet long.
Oh, that sounds very interesting. Is that something new, or is there a description somewhere?
It was kicking around amongst the National Radio Club people about 25 years ago, but I can send you the plans or some rudimentary stuff that I got if you're interested. If you've got, you need some high, you need at least one high permeability core, like 2 to 5,000 initial permeability, and then you need to make like a 4-to-1 transformer, like a 4-to-1 Balun. You can do that with like a 43 material core. It's fairly easy to do.
So is that a isolation transformer or kind of balun?
Yeah, well, what it is it's you do like a 50-foot sloper, and you cut it at about 35 feet, or excuse me, about 15 feet from the ground. You cut it, and you drop in this a 10-to-1 auto transformer, and then you can run that into the house with twin lead. But the thing is, it's you need like 200 ohm, so you can either use like landscaping wire or speaker wire, because that's characteristically like 200 ohms, and then you can drop that into like a 4-to-1 balun that you got laying around, or you can make one yourself. And it's the bottom 15 feet of the wire coming out of that transformer goes right into an 8-foot ground rod, and so they're very quiet, and you get a pretty decent signal to noise ratio, and you can hear European long wave stations on them. And you could throw like 30 dB of amplification at them, and they're fairly bulletproof. KC1RS.
Wow, that sounds very interesting. I mean, besides, let's see, you have a isolation, then you are amplifying the signal. What is it that keeps the noise out?
It's a grounded antenna. I'll send you the plans. I'll email you the plans. The plans I got is for like an inverted L, but I've also built it in a sloper configuration, and I've also experimented around with the types of cores on them. The super high permeability cores tend to cut off around 3 megahertz, and you can go with like a 61 material, or not a 61, you could go with like a 63 material core, you get it up to 5 megahertz. But either way, I'll email what I got here. Took a picture of a sheet here, and I'll send it to you so you can see what I'm talking about.
All right, thanks. I appreciate that. Mike, we don't mean to keep you out. Let's take turns. KC1RS, K1DSK, W2MUR. Go ahead if you're there.
Yeah, no problem. And Russ, that's great. I got a Bog antenna that I bought from DX Engineering a while back. It was the same one that Carl had, and so I'm now with the nice weather, maybe if I have time this weekend, I'll put that out there and see how that works as well. But I got the whole kit, and it should be a breeze to set up, and I can't remember the length on it, but I wrote it down. I have it all ready. The plans are all ready, and I've got plenty of room to lay it out. The Bogs are a lot easier because you don't have to, put them up 8 feet, up into the air, which would be better, certainly better. But just like to get it out there and see what happens. So I'm looking forward to that, and I think we'll get some extra sensitivity there. Also, I want to experiment with my HiQ antenna as a base. I got to get some of that heat shrink from Randy. He found some 7-inch heat shrink that I'm going to buy from him and put that around the cracks in my HiQ, because I ran it with in the salt during the winter, which I shouldn't have done. So it just wasn't good, but it still works pretty well. So I placed an order for 2 more and some hardware, but Charlie hasn't responded yet.
Oh, so will that be for mobile or for base station?
Well, the one that was on the mobile, so what I did was I took a truck that I was leasing in 2018. I was putting way too much miles on it, so I got rid of that, buried the lease, bought a 2016 exact same truck, except it had the V8 Hemi in it. It's actually just like Randy's. So I've been driving that around with no one. I've been without mobile operation for many months now, and I really miss it. So I was going to take the one that had some anomalies in it that still worked, the antenna that was on my truck that's off, and put that as a base antenna, and modify the cap pad a little bit. And I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that. That's why I was interested to find out how Dennis was making out with his base station, but nothing yet. So then I placed an order for 2 more of those, because I figured, have one as a backup and some hardware, and I'm going to get together with Randy. We're going to weld some stuff up, put it in the back of the truck on the bed, to the right side of the bed and the right side of the truck. Instead of putting it, it was too close to the cab, so I got to get that back in the back of the truck. So that'll work perfectly once I get that done.
Sounds very good. Seems you're really busy. You're going to be busy with these things. Russ, the 63 core high permeability, since it's a low wattage things, what size do you need? Not 243 or 143 or smaller? KC1RS. Russ, are you still there?
Yeah. Hey, I sent you this information on January 3rd of this year. I thought I had, but maybe you were a little busy then. Let me see if I got anything in there on that 63 material.
Russ, send me that information as well. I'm good on QRZ. Kevin, so what day did you get back?
I got about March 20th. And the flying back was very interesting because the airspace over Pakistan was closed. So all the flights had to go down south towards the Gulf countries and then fly to Europe. That added extra 2 hours to the flight time. So the flight I was taking was 1 hour late to start with, and then 2 hours longer. So I barely made my connection in Frankfurt. I was the last person. Well, when we landed, I asked them to let me out first, so I was the first one to out of the plane, and I ran across the whole airport and reached there with the last person to the flight from Frankfurt to Boston was boarding. I barely made it. My luggage came 2 days later. Go ahead.
Oh, really? Your luggage came late? Yeah, when I got into Oman, I forgot my backpack. I'm walking down to the gate, and I said, man, something's not right. Something is just not right. And I realized that I left the backpack, I thought in the bathroom, but that ended up being at security. So after a long, drawn-out search, I finally found it in security. And, man, was I relieved, man. That was the closest thing that I came to a disaster. So I found my backpack, and everything was good, but I barely made the flight myself.
Yeah, I guess the flights these days are a little adventurous, They're not as much fun anymore. But the flight from Frankfurt to Boston was not full, because a lot of people couldn't make the connection. So I had the central 4 seats. So I folded the armrest and I slept. I stretched out and slept for 3-4 hours. So that made it more comfortable. So that was good part of the flight. Otherwise, I don't like to fly anymore. Go ahead.
Yeah, I made a rookie mistake. I've traveled quite a bit, and I made a rookie mistake, and on the way over, I booked a window seat, which was just a nightmare. And at that, I was in economy. I couldn't get upgraded to first class. They were all taken, and And, man, I'm telling you, those seats, I was like a smelt in that seat, man. I was like a sardine, and I couldn't move, and I couldn't sleep, couldn't get comfortable. And, you get out, and then you got to disturb a couple guys. So there was a couple guys there. They were really good sports. One was a doctor from the Cornell, New York area. You never know by looking at him. He looked really super young. The guy looked like he was like 17 years old, and he was a doctor. And his buddy and him were going to Egypt. And so it was nice, But on my way back, I got an aisle seat. And that worked out beautiful, man. It worked out so nice. But I still, for whatever reason, Jordanian Airlines is kind of a whacked airline. They're kind of fly-by-night, really. Their hours at the ticket counter are very limited, and if you can't get a hold of them when you try to call them, and American can't do anything. They point you to Jordanian Air, and Jordanian Air says that Americans got to do it. It's like one of those deals. So it was a nice flight coming back, very, very nice flight. But I spent about, it was hour over there from Tel Aviv, and then 12-and-a-half-hour flight to Chicago, and 2.5 hours to Syracuse. It was a long 16 hours, almost 20 hours in the air, and then another few hours layover. It was a lot of time. It was a whole day of traveling.
Oh, yeah, it's a pain in the neck. Russ, are you back? Yeah, I got the email March 5th or 6th, and it says FD 11475 mix course for the transformer. Go ahead.
73s, guys. I'm going to take off. All the best, Russ and Devin and anybody else. Tom, take care, guys. W2MUR.
Good night, Mike.
Good night, Mike.
Have a good one.
That email's on the way, Mike. 73's KC1RS.
Thanks, Russ. Appreciate that.
So, Russ, it has all the information about cores here on the JPEG file. 75 mix, 114 core.
Yeah, and you're going to pack that core too. That number 20 enamel, it's pretty heavy duty. And you will pack that. Now, when you get into your high permeability cores, when you get up above 1,000 with the initial permeability, the material those cores are made out of is it starts getting conductive. So you want to be careful with those. You may want to wrap those cores with Teflon tape, like the thicker Teflon tape that you would buy for like gas pipes, and then that way, if you scratch through the enamel coating on your enameled wire, it won't short out the core. It's just a precaution.
So the Teflon tape will not affect the sort of insulation or affect the permeability of the cores?
No, not at all. I've never had any issues with it. All it's there for is to protect the in case the enameled wire. In case, because there can be sharp edges on some of these cores. It's in case the enameled wire gets a ding in it, because the enamel gets a ding in it. You don't want it shorting out against the core. You're not transmitting through this anyway, but, you just, it takes a lot of effort to keep these together, and you're pulling them. When you're winding them, you're pulling them through, and you could over time break the enamel coating off of it and cause it to short.
Yeah, sure. That's a good advice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it looks very interesting. I'll try that. Oh, another question. It says 8-foot ground rod. Is the depth of ground rod important? Because the beverage I'm trying, the ground is only about 3 feet in the soil. So would that be very important? Go ahead.
Yeah, I found that I used to have ground rods that, remember you could buy those 4-foot ground rods from Radio Shack, and they found that they just didn't seem to get the job done as well as an 8-foot rod. Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the neck putting an 8-foot ground rod in. I mean, they can be, and I have pulled them back out of the ground, believe it or not. We used to actually yank the ground rods. We used to put them in locations and put up 2-wire beverages and then yank the ground rods later through various methods, usually an old car jack. And but if you're going to put the thing up permanently, the 8-foot ground rod's kind of it's kind of important to the design of the thing. If you don't do it, it doesn't work really. It barely works at all. I mean, you could try it with a 3-foot ground rod, but you know, it's one of those your mileage may vary type things. I've only ever used 8-foot rods with them, and I know that they work with an 8-footer.
All right, I guess I have to dedicate one ground rod for experiments, and it makes sense. Yeah. All right, thank you. A lot of good information, and it'll keep me busy for a while. And I may call you again if I have some issues.